Are any sweet potato fries worth this many dishes? I'm sure Dan Souza's and Ethan Klebowski's fries are delicious, but I can't bring myself to try them. First, I'd need a pot to parboil the fries. Then I need a strainer to drain them, a bowl to toss them with the cornstarch, a pot to fry them, and a baking sheet with a rack to cool them. So let me offer you a lazy alternative that is not tempura crispy but still very tasty. Here is the gist. Coat sweet potatoes with smoked paprika, garlic mayo, and oil. Toss them on a hot baking sheet and roast for 15 minutes. This is something I can handle on a weeknight, and so can you. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees with a rack in the middle. This recipe really benefits from the convection fan. It helps the fries brown from both the top and the bottom. If you're wondering why we are flipping them, I'll tell you. That's because the baking sheet gives you even browning and the fan gives you blistery, slightly charred browning. Exposing your fries to both of those on both sides gives you the most crispy texture. You can also try this recipe in your air fryer. If neither a convection fan or an air fryer are an option, don't worry, your fries will still be good, but possibly slightly less crispy, and they might take a bit longer to cook. Try raising your temperature by 25 degrees and play with the placement in the oven. All ovens are different, but sometimes placing the baking sheet closer to the bottom speeds up the bottom browning, and closer to the top speeds up the top browning. Your baking sheet will make or break your dish, so it deserves a discussion. I roast all my veggies on well-seasoned aluminum half sheets. If you're working with shiny aluminum sheets that are not seasoned, your fries will likely stick and won't brown well. The best thing to do in this case is to season your baking sheets like a cast iron skillet and to stop scrubbing that useful patina off. The link for that procedure is in the description below. The next best thing is to line your baking sheet with parchment and raise the temperature to 475. If you are located in Europe, you are in luck because your oven probably came with an enamel-coated carbon steel baking sheet that browns even better than seasoned aluminum, and it will work great for this dish. If you have William and Sonoma Gold Touch baking sheets, they brown quite well out of the box and don't need seasoning. If you have a flimsy baking sheet coated in Teflon, I suggest you trash it and buy something that actually works. I scrub my sweet potatoes very well, but I don't peel them because the skin gives them more crispness. But that's completely up to you. If you don't feel that you can clean them well enough without peeling, go ahead and peel. Cut them into French fry shapes. If you are dealing with a very long potato, I think it's a lot easier to cut it in half so that your fries are manageable length. Only cut up the amount of potatoes that fit in your baking sheet in a single layer. For me, that's usually 2 potatoes or somewhere between 700 and 800 grams. This fits a standard half sheet nicely. Move your sweet potatoes to a bowl and put your baking sheet in the middle of the oven to preheat for about 7 minutes. The mayo doesn't need to be flavored, but it's way more fun if it is. I have strong feelings about mayo that I have described in detail in 2 videos. The only update I have is about Dukes. Many of you were upset that I didn't include it in my mayo lineup. That was because I couldn't find it in Massachusetts, but I tried it recently while visiting my brother in Colorado, and it is indeed very good. Is it better than Hellmann's in a jar? I don't know. I think they're similar, especially once you add the flavorings. Just a reminder and a warning that Hellmann's in a jar and Hellmann's in a bottle are completely different products. In my opinion, the first one is great and the second one is not edible. Long story short, use a mayo that tastes good to you. For me, that's Hellmann's in a jar. The only reason I am weighing my ingredients is so that I can give you an accurate recipe. Feel free to eyeball everything. I've made this enough times that I know I need a pinch of salt to compensate for the added acidity of the vinegar. But if this is your first time, you should mix it all up and then season to taste. Add about 2 tablespoons of this mayo to your fries and reserve the rest for dunking. Add 2 tablespoons of refined oil that you typically use for high heat. I'm using sunflower oil, but grapeseed and avocado are all good. Season very generously with salt and mix well. Ignore the fact that I didn't add enough oil originally. Measuring the stuff is hard, but if I don't measure, it won't be a realistic recipe. The rule of thumb is about 60 grams of fat, or a generous 1/4 cup for a half sheet. In this case, I'm dividing this between mayo and oil. The mayo doesn't just give the fries a completely addictive flavor, it also helps with browning. It doesn't all drip to the bottom of the baking sheet like oil and helps the top of the fries brown at the same time. Since sweet potatoes can get soft and limp, browning them quickly is key to fries that hold their shape. Dump all these fries onto your baking sheet and quickly spread them out in a single layer. We need every single stick of sweet potato to make full contact with the pan. Turn on the convection fan and roast for about 10 minutes or until the bottom browns. Watch them carefully so that they don't burn. Flip them over with a spatula so that you don't have to do them one at a time. Don't obsess over flipping every single stick. If you get 80% of them, that's good. Simply rearranging them on the baking sheet will help, since the ones in the center never brown as much as the ones on the outside. If any look plenty brown, remove them to a plate. Roast for another 5 minutes or until the other side is beautifully brown and the top is blistered. And enjoy! Here are more very detailed culinary tutorials for you to check out, and if you are ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.